Well, welcome back to a brand new video here on the channel, and today I am reviewing Seed of Chucky. If you've been with my channel for a while, you know I consider this one the worst Child's Play movie. Not only the worst Child's Play movie, one of the worst horror movies. I believe it was on my top 5 worst horror movies. Go check out that video, by the way. Really good video. But back on topic, Seed of Chucky. The only positive that I can really give this movie is the opening sequence where Glenn takes the knife out the cake. I like that scene. It was a homage to Halloween. So that was a really cool scene. That's the only thing I can give this movie. This movie is a joke. Okay, that's the best way to describe Seed of Chucky, is a joke. I can understand and get behind Don Mancini wanting to keep this movie close to his chest because this was his directing debut. I can understand that and get behind that. But he killed his own franchise. And I'm a die-hard Chucky fan, and I can admit to that Don Mancini made a mistake and killed his own franchise. And he knows that. I'm sure he knows that. You know what I mean? I'm sure he knows that. You know, what's wrong with Seed of Chucky? Plenty of things. Let's start off with the character Glenn. The character Glenn. I don't hate the character Glenn, and I don't like the character Glenn. Me personally, when I think of Chucky's son, or even, when I think of Chucky's son, right, I think of evil. I think more evil than Tiffany, more evil than Chucky. And having looks of Chucky and Tiffany. And what we get is total opposite, and it's not canon at all. Like, it's not following the canon at all with the character Glenn. Glenn kind of being this almost Jekyll and Hyde character could have worked, but it doesn't work. That's the thing, it doesn't work. All of the logic and the lore is thrown out the window. All the lore, the logic of this whole franchise is completely gone. It's completely gone. Why was this movie ever greenlit? I don't have an answer for that. I would love to know myself why this movie was greenlit. This movie, it's hard to sit through. It's hard to sit through. This movie is the hardest movie to sit through. It's a chore. It's boring. There's plenty of times where and it's a big if, I watch Seed of Chucky, I'm mostly on my phone or cleaning up. I'm never really paying attention to Seed of Chucky's on in the background. I'm never paying attention to it. I have not sat down and watched Seed of Chucky in its full length probably since 2015, 2018, and I'm not even kidding when I say that. Even if I'm having a fun Chucky marathon where I'm watching the remake all the way to Cult, I'm usually skipping over Seed. It's not even a comedy. It's not even a horror comedy. It's basically a spoof of itself. But I can't even call it a spoof of itself because it doesn't want to take itself there. It just wants to go take itself almost to the Freddy's Dead route, which Freddy's Dead is 10 times worse, trust me. But I'm just saying, Seed of Chucky really goes down that path, and again, there's no logic in this movie. All the lore that was set up in the first movie, it's gone. All the voodoo, all that makes no sense in this movie. It makes no sense. And this is where the whole splitting the souls started to play effect in the franchise. We know, like, Chucky split his soul in Cult, all that great stuff. Again, not even explained in Cult, but besides that, we'll get to that when we do. But Seed of Chucky, we are introduced to splitting souls at the end of the movie. Makes no sense. It's not explained at all. Again, all logic thrown out the window. Chucky's chant is gone, thrown out the window. They completely tear all that apart because now Chucky's chant is to wake them up. That's a cool idea. Why not? So basically, if it wasn't for this character Glenn, Chucky and Tiffany would have never woken up. Okay, sure. Again, the whole logic of Chucky and Tiffany being in Hollywood makes no sense. Glenn being, in London, makes no sense. Like, this whole movie makes no sense. And again, like I've said, there's things in movies, like comic book movies, horror movies, action movies, that you could completely overlook. There's just so many things in this movie I cannot overlook. From the voodoo, to Chucky's look, to Tiffany's look. everything to Glenn, the whole character Glenn makes no sense to me. I don't understand this movie. I don't understand why it was greenlit. I know there's huge fans and supporters of this movie, but me personally, if you're a fan of this movie, I can respect your opinion. But trust me, I am not a fan of this movie. Again, it's hard to sit through. It's a chore to sit through. Nothing is funny in this movie. Nothing is funny. Why was this movie greenlit? I don't know, man. But final thoughts from Seed of Chucky. I give it a 5 or a 6. I give it a 6. I would try to be nice, but I would try to be nice here to Seed of Chucky. I give it a 6, but really want to give it a 5. But I'll be nice for Seed of Chucky right now. But once we get to that ranking, I'd give it a 4 or 5. But Seed of Chucky, I hate Seed of Chucky. I think it's the worst horror movies, worst Chucky movie. And might I add, what was the trend going on? And what I mean by trend, what was the trend in the early 2000s with making characters that people were scared of jokes? Like, they made Michael a joke in that one scene in Halloween Resurrection. Then we get to Seed of Chucky. They make Chucky a joke. What was the trend with making Michael and Chucky a joke in the early 2000s? I don't get that. What was the point? I can't get behind that. I don't understand. But besides the point, Seed of Chucky, if you're watching the marathon, you probably skip it, like me. Seed of Chucky, I give it, I said it, a 6, 5.5, I don't even know what I said, but like the video, subscribe, hit the notification bell, let's have a discussion on Seed of Chucky. I don't even like to talk about Seed of Chucky, I'll be honest. Worst movie, but catch you guys in the next video.